In this exercise, we're going to finish off our dashboard, clean it up, and dress it up nicely. You'll notice that in this dashboard, we've updated our data to include May and April. May is now the current month, whereas April is now the previous month. Whereas prior to this, April was the current month and March was the previous month. We're going to go through the steps of updating all of our dashboard items here, and I'll also talk about how we can dress this up and lock down the dashboard, clean it up where there's no ribbon, there's no column or row headers. And for that matter, you'll notice you can't click anywhere else in here except for our filters here, which are dynamically linked to our two bar charts down here. Okay, let's get into it. Alright, here we are in our dashboard. It's not cleaned up yet. We have all these grid lines for each of the cells and stuff. We're going to clear those out. The first thing we want to do is come up and click the select worksheet icon up here. It's the intersection up there. It selects the entire worksheet. Once it's selected, I'm going to come to my home ribbon tab. In the font group, I'm going to click the drop down arrow for my fill color, and then I'm going to change this to white. That dresses that up nicely. The next thing I want to do is auto fit our columns, so I'm going to select A through L, and then I'm going to double click the line separating the column here, and it auto fits it nicely. Next, I want to select all of my columns here. I'm going to select column M and press Control Shift arrow key right. That selects everything. I'm going to right click here in the selection and choose hide. I'll do the same thing for my rows. I'm going to select row 38 here, press Shift Control arrow key down, right click, hide. So now we've narrowed this down nicely. Next, I'm going to go ahead and update my information. I'm going to take note that April is my current month, March is my previous month. So next I want to open up my File Explorer. Now here in my File Explorer, I'm going to move this down a little bit. What I want to do is I want to copy this information and paste it inside of this information, which will update this file here. Now, because I want to practice this exercise again, I don't want to lose the integrity of these files. So I'm going to copy this file. I'll press Control C, and then I come back to my main folder, and now I'm going to click inside this existing file here. I'm going to click it 2 times slowly, and after this, I'm going to put in May. Now this is my May data, which will update the file that's inside this folder here. So having renamed this, I'm going to press Control V to paste this out, and then I'm going to click inside here and rename this as April. Now I'll have the integrity of these files still. So I'm going to select the May. I'm going to do Control C, come back to my sales data folder, open this up, and then I'm going to do Control V to paste it, and then I'm going to select this one, delete it, and then rename this by removing the May at the end, just like that. So now we've successfully updated the file with the quote-unquote current data, which includes May, and that's all there is to it. Now, having done that, I'll come back to my workbook here, and here's my dashboard. I want to update this information, so I'm going to go to my Data ribbon tab, and I'm going to come down and click Refresh All. Now it's going to think about it for a moment. And there you have it. Look at that. We have May and those total values, and April, the previous month. Down here, we may need to auto fit our column E here. That's not a problem. Now I see I need to also remove those vertical hash lines. I'm going to select in there and just delete them. I thought we did that in the last exercise. There it is. So now it's fixed. You'll notice that you can still select things in here. We're going to fix that. So what I want to do is I want everything to be locked down except for this slicer here. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to click to select the slicer, just the border here. I'm going to right click and then go to Size and Properties. That opens up my Format Slicer task pane. I'm going to come down to Properties and then choose Unlock. I'm going to remove that check mark there. Then I'll close this down. It's all finished. Now I'm going to come over to my Review ribbon tab. Over here in the Protect group, I'm going to click Protect Sheet. That opens up my Protect Sheet dialog box. I'm just going to put in the number 1 here, and I want to make sure I deselect Select Lock Cells. So now that means that everyone can still click on the unlock cells. I'm going to click OK, and then put in that number 1 again and click OK. Let's see it. Okay, I can't click within here anywhere, but I can click within my slicer. So now if I send this out to people, they can't mistakenly break something. Now we can take it one step further by our worksheet tabs, our ribbon up here, along with the formula bar. We can reduce all those down so it has just the dashboard itself. So the way I do that is I come over to my File, Backstage, and I go down to Options. Then I'm going to come down to Advanced. I'll scroll down just a bit, and I'm going to find this Display section. Down here I'll remove this check mark for formula bar. Scroll down a little bit more. Scroll bar, maybe we'll leave those on. Here's our worksheet tabs. I'm going to click OK. Now that removed my worksheet tabs and the formula bar. So in order to hide the ribbon itself, I'll come up and click my ribbon options, and then I'm going to choose Auto Hide Ribbon. And now we have our dashboard dressed up nicely, and the only thing accessible is our slicer. Well, that's all there is to it. I hope this was fun for you. I hope you learned a lot. I'll encourage you to do these last 9 exercises 2 and 3 different times, and that will make you even better at it. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the coming exercises. Take care.